NESN's exclusive coverage of Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. By Mobil, drive your engine clean with Mobil Super Unleaded Plus. By your Chevy dealers of New England, start where more people end up. There's only one paint this good, and there's only one place you can get it. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams. By your New England area Century 21 offices. Put your trust in number one, Century 21. And by Cellular One, the one on top.
Okay, tonight's lineup for the Oakland Athletics will be Ricky Henderson in left field leading off, Dave Henderson in center, Jose Canseco in right, Harold Baines the hitter, Terry Steinbach the catcher, Brooke Jacoby the newcomer at third base, Mark McGuire at first, Mike Gallego second base, Mike Bordick at shortstop. Umpires, Tim Welke behind the plate, Dale Scott at first base, the crew chief Jim Evans at second, and Dan Morrison calling the plays at third.
The defense tonight for the Red Sox, Mike Greenwell in left field, Ellis Burks in center, and Carlos Quintana will be in right field. Around the infield, Wade Boggs, Louis Rivera, Jody Reed, and Mo Vaughn. John Marzano will be doing the catching tonight, giving Tony Pena a night off. And on the mound will be right-handed Dana Kiecker, and this is the first start for Dana Kiecker since, well, back in May against the Detroit Tigers. First, of course, since he's come off the disabled list. He had 3 relief appearances since coming off the DL. And what Joe Morgan hopes for tonight is with this heavy right-handed hitting lineup of the Oakland A's that somehow Kiecker can discover that slider again that made him so effective last season. And if he has that slider, he could give some trouble to this Oakland A lineup.
0-1 against the Oakland Athletics. And this is his first appearance against them this year. He was 0-1 against them last season, his rookie year. There was a change in the lineup for the Boston Red Sox, and defensively, Mike Greenwell is not counted on to be starting this game, but he is in left field. Ellis Burks is in center field, and Canseco in right. And a change in the whole lineup. So at the last moment, why Greenwell is added, and Quintana, who was starting in left field, goes to right.
What happened is Greenwell went out to take some early batting practice, and even after that early batting practice was not quite sure about being able to play. So Bernansky was in the original lineup, but after taking the regular hitting with the Red Sox, I guess he reported that he was okay, and so he's back in the lineup tonight. So Greenwell in, Quintana moves over to right field, and Bernansky out of the lineup.
Nice night for baseball. It had a couple of drops of rain a little while ago, but the sun trying to break through in its last gasp of the evening. And we're set for baseball from Fenway. The Oakland Athletics making their second and final appearance in regular season play here in Boston. Red Sox really did a job on them earlier.
24.
Swept them in here.
Ricky Henderson, left fielder.
Ricky Henderson hitting .270. The left fielder with 7 home runs and 32 runs driven in. Ball 1, we are underway. Henderson's had a pretty good road trip. He bends away from a fastball. 80 degrees is the temperature at game time. Henderson in the first 8 games of this trip, he's reached on a hit or walk 16 times and scored 11 runs. So he's done the job from the leadoff spot, as he usually does. Here goes a shot that may be a home run. It is into the screen. It's 1-0 Oakland. And Ricky Henderson, who does this all the time, homers for a quick Oakland lead. Wow.
Well, we talked a little bit in the open about how this offense is starting to heat up for the Oakland A's. They have hit over 300 on this current road trip that they're on, and Henderson starts off quickly. Got a 2-0 fastball from Dana Kiecker and takes it right up at the net to give them the quick lead. Henderson has really been coming on strong, too. He was struggling the last time the Oakland A's were here at Boston.
So now with a run in, and the other Henderson comes up, the guy who carried the club for the first couple of months of the season, Dave Henderson, the center fielder. And Kiecker is way outside and past Marzano with that one. Ball 1. Dave is hitting .283, 19 home runs, and 58 runs batted in. They couldn't get him out in April and May. That homer by Rickey was his second Fenway homer over his whole career. The first one came last year. And David takes ball 2. 2-1. 12 hits in his last 30 times up, including 3 doubles and a homer for Dave. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Crowd had hardly gotten the seat warm before Rickey planted one into the screen. Very high to left field. Circling is Greenwell, and with it for the out.
Of course, Dave Henderson just about carried this club the first half of the season, and he has slumped some since then, but he started to pick it up over the last few weeks, along with this man coming to the plate right now, Jose Canseco. What a tear he's been on.
Oh, he's been alive. 28 home runs, 81 runs batted in to lead the league in each department over his Cecil Fielder of Detroit. And Canseco is hitting .265, a very hard .265. He's homered in 5 of his last 7 games. Nine hits on the trip, 5 of them for home runs. It's a ball. He is hit at a .237 clip in Fenway. 7 home runs in this ballpark, but not a very big average. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, Red Sox pitching has been able to handle him pretty well over the last few seasons, and especially here at Fenway Park.
Outfield straight away on him. Quintana and Greenwell bunched up toward Burks in center. A lot of room on each line on Canseco, the right field line and the left field corner. The slider away. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike.
That's the pitch right there that Dana Kiecker has to get right-handed hitters to chase to be effective. The slider that's off the plate.
2-2. Got him. Kiecker strikes out Canseco, and they love that here at Fenway. They've got a kind of a love-hate relationship with Canseco. He kids around a lot with the fans in right field.
Oh, just at every place that Canseco goes now, he's taking some abuse, and especially coming off that trip in New York. Last night he was the DH in that ball game because the night before there was quite a few problems out in that right field section.
They threw things at him out there.
Yeah.
The ball lifted to left field by Harold Baines, the designated hitter, and Rivera is back. So Kiecker, after giving up the initial homer to Rickey Henderson, gets the next 3 hitters. After a half inning, Oakland won. The Red Sox coming up.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bob Kurtz. Time for this Major League Update brought to you by Budweiser. Let's go to the scoreboard. Lots to talk about on this evening around Major League Baseball at the Sky Dome. Not much to talk about. That's scoreless in the bottom of the 3rd. Detroit and California, Parrish and Fielder have exchanged home runs in that ball game. Tigers have the lead there. At New York, look at the Twins. They are all over the place. Chili Davis, Shane Mack, and Kent Herbeck all with home runs in that game. Herbeck's was a grand slam. Nothing doing in Milwaukee in the 1st inning. Same situation in Chicago later tonight in Seattle. Let's check the National League quickly. Bottom of the 3rd at Philadelphia. 2nd at Cincinnati with the Cubbies in the lead there. At Atlanta, the Pirates have pushed ahead. 8:30 start tonight in Houston. 10:30 at Los Angeles. Paw Sox and Tidewater are playing tonight. It's a 1-1 ball game. Tides and Paw Sox after 5 innings of play. Major League Update brought to you by Budweiser. Let's go back inside Fenway now. Rejoin Ned and Jerry.
Thanks to Bob Kurtz for that update on what's going on in Major League Baseball. And the Red Sox are up in the bottom of the 3rd. Here's the throw from Greenwell that nabbed Henderson.
In most cases, trying to stretch a single into double with 2 outs is a good play, but when you have guys like Canseco behind it, it does not become a good play.
Here's a base hit by Boggs to the corner, and he's got another double. Boggs has back-to-back doubles to left. Boy, he's on fire right now.
He has always had success against Dave Stewart. 2 for 2 in this game with 2 doubles. He came into this game hitting over 300, about 314 against Stewart. And that pitch was a little bit more inside. Same result. He pulls the hands in. He lines the ball to the opposite field, and he gets himself the 2-base hit.
Tying run at second, as it was in the first inning before he was doubled up on a line drive to first by Jody Reed. Reed hit the ball hard behind the runner, trying to advance Boggs to third, but it went right into the glove of McGuire, and he quickly threw to Bordick to double up Boggs. Jody with a good career average against the Athletics. Ball 1.
Well, don't let what happened last time affect what you're trying to do this time. Even though you hit the ball hard and line into the double play, you got to try to do it again. Move the ball to the other side, except this time maybe try to get it on the ground.
1 ball and no strikes to Reed. And there's a 1-1 count. Wind has changed around a little bit. It's blowing out towards center field, more towards center and right center than it was earlier. He goes to right with it all right, but it's fouled over the first base dugout. 1-2 to Jody.
Now it all changes when you have 2 strikes on you as the hitter. Now you go for yourself and try to get yourself a base hit. But the type of hitter Reed is, he can still try to do that even with the 2 strikes, depending on what type of pitch he gets.
He gets it inside. He'll clean it out, try to clean it out and hit it to the wall. Stewart has been tagged for 3 hits, 2 of them doubles by Boggs. Out of play.
Had a brief shower here at Fenway Park just about at the end of batting practice, but not enough to cover the field. Lasted for about maybe 2 or 3 minutes. It came down pretty hard, but then it just completely stopped.
Cooled off things a little bit. It was very heavy and humid at that time. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Reed. Two and 2. That's the way the clouds were a little while ago. 2-2 to Reed. Three and 2.
By the reaction of Stewart, he thought he had that pitch, and he might be right. Reed was kind of hanging out over the plate, and that fastball looked like it might have caught the inside corner.
His third 3-2 count. He walks, and the Red Sox have 2 on with nobody out.
You know, Jody Reed is another one of those guys. He and Boggs both who have had a lot of success against Dave Stewart, and a pitcher knows that. He knows that certain guys give him a problem in the course of a lineup, and regardless of what he does, can't seem to get him out. Even the first out that Reed made today hit the ball hard, but right at the first baseman.
13 for 40 against Stewart. Now Dave Stewart has walked 3 in this game. Other games and other years he would hardly ever average 2 in a game. Never got himself in trouble. Ball 1 to Mo Vaughn. Vaughn walked in the first inning. Two and 0.
Vaughn has has enjoyed hitting with men in scoring position so far for the Red Sox. He is .409 batting average in that situation. Problem is, over the last few weeks, has not had that many opportunities with men in scoring position.
He's ahead on the count now, 2-0. Make it 3-0. So Stewart is all over the place. A ball away from loading the bases. Three and one.
There's a questionable pitch 3-0 when you have a veteran like Stewart and a rookie like Vaughn. You can bet the veteran's going to get that call.
Not that one, though. He walks Vaughn, and the bases are full of Red Sox with nobody out. Well, they had the bases loaded with nobody out early in yesterday's game before Quintana did his job. Now Jack Clark is up. 4 walks given up by Stewart. Red Sox with one of their pet offensive weapons, the walk, being brought to bear here. Tony La Russa out to talk to Stewart. Oakland leading 1-0, but that lead in jeopardy with the bases full and none out for the Red Sox in the third.
Stewart, the same as a Roger Clemens. They will give him an opportunity to struggle in a ball game, even fall behind in the game, because they know even though he may have a bad inning, he's liable to come right back and tack on 5 or 6 more good innings after that. So they will stay with a guy like Stewart. Not that they're going to pull him out of a game now, but they will stay with him generally longer in a game than they will with somebody else.
He struck out Clark in the first inning. At that time, there was a runner at first and 2 out. Now the bases are loaded and nobody out. And the wind blowing out toward left. Clark ready. Strike one. 0-1.
Last time up, Stewart threw Clark basically fastballs. Tried to throw the ball by him. So Clark's thinking fastball on first pitch. What does he get? The slider.
8 career slams for Clark. Watch out. Right up above the booth. We almost had one in here for the first time. 0-2.
That's as close as it's come, Ned.
Yep.
If we would have had that window up just a little bit more, would have had a souvenir.
You would have had a sensational catch, probably.
Either that or about 10 stitches. Probably the 10 stitches.
0-2 to Jack Clark. There it goes. Long shot to left. Into the net for a grand slam. Jack Clark. Red Sox lead it 4-1. His second grand slam in a Red Sox uniform and his 9th career grand slam.
In the Red Sox offense for the last couple of days, the grand slam home run. No balls, 2 strikes, and Stewart tries to buzz a fastball by Clark again, but not this time.
Whoosh. Greenwell to first base, to McGuire, to the pitcher Stewart covering. And there's the first out of the inning. So Stewart gets in trouble with giving up a double. He walks 2. Oil Can Boyd walked 3 yesterday before Quintana's grand slam, and Clark really parked one deep to left center field.
The count's 0-2. They wanted the fastball outside, but right down the heart of the plate, and Clark loses this one in a hurry. 15th home run given up by Stewart this year. All of last season only gave up 16.
The boos which had been coming from the stands for Clark immediately turn around to cheers. Fly ball, center field, coming on fast. Henderson, he's got it. Dave Henderson with the catch on Quintana. So there are 2 outs. I mean, you change, the fans change like pebbles in a stream in this game. Clark is now a mayor of Boston, and yesterday couldn't get a vote. Here's Burks. It's a strike. 4th grand slam for the Red Sox this year. 2 by Clark, 1 by Romine, and yesterday's by Quintana. 0-1 to Burks, who walked in the 2nd. So you fool around and you start walking people, you're going to get hurt most of the time.
And it's nice to see the Red Sox hurt somebody the last couple of days and taking advantage of some wildness by pitches. Oil Can Boyd, this case Dave Stewart, take advantage of that, get the big blast, and get the runs across.
A's at one time had a 1-0 lead on a homer. They now trail 4-1 on a homer. Fastball buzzed inside to Burks. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Popped up left side. Jacoby. Horse had left the barn for Stewart, though. At the end of 3, it's 4-1 Red Sox. Thank you, Bob. This one is now 5-4 Oakland as Mo Vaughn gets in against Dave Stewart. Red Sox batting in the bottom of the 5th. Vaughn has walked twice and scored a run. Strike 1.
Talked a little earlier, Ned, about the Oakland bullpen being used, and of course with Jeff Gray not around, Fossas, Irvin, and Reardon, really the only 3. Lamp worked in the game yesterday, so he may not be available except maybe for a hitter or 2.
Down to McGuire, to Stewart, and Vaughn is out. 1 away. Mark McGuire, good fielding first baseman, playing very wide and deep on Vaughn. Here comes Clark, who has accounted for the 4 Red Sox runs. Grand slam in the 3rd, his 15th home run of the year. He now has 50 runs batted in. Struck out swinging in the 1st. And he did it with an 0-2 count going. Cracks it foul.
That might be the first time in a long time Jack Clark has stepped to the plate, and hear the cheers from the crowd here at Fenway Park.
Doesn't take long for them to change on him. And he rams it to center for a hit. Clothesline base hit to center field by Clark, who seems to be right on Dave Stewart.
You know, one thing, he and Bernansky this afternoon were taking extra batting practice, and they were doing an awful lot of talking to each other, along with hitting coach Richie Hebner. And Clark has looked very comfortable at the plate tonight, taking that pitch. It was either the slider or the forkball, and rifled it right back up the middle.
Now it's Greenwell. Mike is 0 for 2. Grounded out to the pitcher and to the first baseman. Lifted to left field, and Henderson will play it off the wall. Clark goes into third. The throw to second base. Not in time. Double for Greenwell. Runners at second and third.
You know, Ned, I don't remember the last time that Greenwell has hit the wall here at Fenway Park, and I wouldn't be out of line by saying maybe that's only the second time all season long. Takes the down and out fastball and just rifles it right off the wall. So once again, the Red Sox pop out after being scored on, and they're putting a rush on Dave Stewart again here in the 5th inning.
They've reached him for 6 hits now. So they've got the lead run at second base. Runners at second and third, 1 out, and Carlos Quintana is up. He is grounded out and flied to center field. Ball 1.
Stewart's getting a little tired of seeing these balls racked around the ballpark too.
Yeah, he'll straighten the guy up every once in a while.
Now, just to make a point on the Greenwell thing, with that wrist bothering him, that top wrist when he's at the plate, going to the opposite field right now might be the thing for him to do. That would be less painful than when he tries to roll the wrist over and pull the ball.
1 ball and no strikes to Quintana. Clark at third, Greenwell at second. Back out of play, 1 ball and 1 strike. Stewart trying to regain the form that has made him invincible in situations like this in the past. But tonight, he's been tapped around pretty well. 2 doubles by Boggs, a grand slam by Clark. Single by Clark this inning, and a double by Greenwell. Rivera has a hit off him. Ball 2. 2-1. Down to shortstop, and they'll tie it up on this one as the throw to first in time for the out. Short look at Bordick. They had the contact on, and they were playing back anyway, conceding the run. They've got the second out. Clark scores the tying run, and it's 5-5.
Yeah, it's a good thing Clark was busting his tail off third base immediately on the ground ball, because that ball was hit so hard, Bordick might have had a chance to come home. He thought about it. He took a look toward home plate and said, no, I better go get the safe out over at first. Almost had the ball go through his legs because he looked up just a bit too soon.
RBI for Quintana, his 39th. And here's Ellis Burks. Ball 1. Game tied 5-5. In a pair of sixers so far at Fenway. Bottom of the 5th. It's a strike. 1-1 to Ellis Burks, who has walked and popped up.
24 of his 38 RBIs have come with 2 outs. That's a high on the Red Sox ball club.
Fisted foul. It's 1-2 to Ellis. Throws it away. And Greenwell moves to third. 2-2.
Hard slider that time from Dave Stewart. That Steinbach so hard Steinbach had to go to the backhand to try to make the catch. Didn't have time to bounce out and block it. Ball gets by, and Greenwell will move up to third base.
Wild pitch charge to Stewart. Ty, the lead run is at third now. 2 outs. Steinbach. Full count.
Better be prepared to get down in the dirt and block a ball with a man on third, especially with Stewart, because he'll go to that fork ball with the men in scoring position, and that's a pitch designed to be down, and a lot of time it does end up in the dirt.
Burks charges a foul into the third base stands. 3-2. Ellis stays alive with the full count and 2 outs. Stewart has tried about every pitch now, trying to get Ellis Burks and end the inning. It is foul. No mystery on that pitch as far as Burks is concerned. He turned on it just a little bit too much. Otherwise, he's got himself a double down into left.
I tell you what, there have been some rockets in this game tonight. Just out in front of the fastball and rolling those wrists over, pulling it hard, but fouled on the third baseline.
Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Burks the batter, Rivera on deck. He jams him and pops him up. Foul ground for Steinbach. And he misses it. Harry Steinbach bobbles the ball for an error and keeps the inning alive. So we'll see if the Red Sox can take advantage of that break.
Oakland generally not a team that will hurt itself defensively, but here the Red Sox do catch a break. Steinbach gets caught backpedaling and just bounces right out of the glove. Let's see if Burks can make it hurt.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. He jammed him that time to cause that foul ball. See where they want it this time. They'll throw away from him, and they walk him. So Burks wins the battle. Stewart loses the batter because of the error by the catcher. And the inning is alive. Runners at first and third. 2 out. 6 walks given up by Stewart. Louis Rivera is up. He's 1 for 2. A lot of things not quite in sync for this Oakland club. Naturally, they've been hurt by injuries. A lot of them early in the year to their pitching staff. Then they got their shortstop, one of the best in the business, Walt Weiss, out. At least against the Red Sox, they've looked out of sync. Strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Burks at first, Greenwell at third. One and 2 to Rivera. goes for the breaking pitch away, fouls it back, and is still 1-2. Game tied 5-all. Bottom of the 5th. Red Sox with runners at first and third and 2 out. Mike Greenwell down the line at third. Burks on the life is the runner at first. And Louis cracks it foul out of play. They're making Stewart work. He's had 4 3-2 counts. He has walked 6 in the game and has just 1 strikeout.
Stewart to throw over 100 pitches in a game, and 120, 130 is not unusual. Certainly have been a workhorse for this ball club over the last few years. But sometimes all these pitches early in a game will pay dividends later on in a game.
1-2. And he strikes Rivera out to end the inning. 1 run scored, 2 runners left. And through 5, it is all tied up at 5. Well, the Red Sox have to do it all over again. They trail now by 3 runs. And Dave Stewart gets a strike in. John Marzano. Strike 2. Marzano is 0 for 2. He's fouled out and flied to right. He's out of there. Stewart carves up that outside corner and picks up a strikeout.
Almost had the sense there that Marzano was looking for something inside when the count went to 0-2 to maybe move him off the plate, but Stewart does just the opposite. He goes to the outside corner with the fastball to pick up the strikeout.
The 3rd strikeout for Dave goes to the top of the order now, whom he has not been able to get out, Wade Boggs. 2 doubles and a walk for Boggs. Hitting at .331. One ball and 1 strike. Boggs has certainly made a difference since coming back into the lineup after sitting out with a bad back. Came up a couple of days ago with a pinch single and then has let it go in the last 2 games. Strike 2. 1-2.
And missed both offensively and defensively when not in the lineup.
Yep. 1-2 with 1 out. Fastball away. Ball 2. 2-2. Full count. Another one for Stewart. A lot of pitches thrown by Dave. Dana Kiecker threw 80 pitches in the 5+ innings that he worked. Gave up 8 hits and 7 runs. Boggs to left field again. Is it going to make the wall fair? It does. Here he goes to second. The throw. He is safe at second with his 3rd double. And he is just wearing out Dave Stewart.
Kind of amazing, man. The first time up, an outside pitch goes to the opposite field. Next time up, it was inside. Still fought it off and went to the opposite field for the double. A walk, and now again outside. It looks like with the fastball, and Boggs again off the wall, just fair, a couple of feet fair, picks up his 3rd double of the night.
You think you'd ever want to leave this ballpark?
Oh, man.
That is the 7th Red Sox hit, and Boggs has 3 of them. Here's Jody Reed with 1 out. Ball 1. Reed is 0 for 2. Now the A's start throwing Gene Nelson, a right-hander, in their bullpen. 1 ball and no strikes. Stewart has really had a struggle on his hands tonight. He has walked 6. He has given up 7 hits. Reed looks at a strike. He's had 2 leads, one of them 1-0. There is Nelson. And now he has a 3-run lead, 8-5. But that's the way the Oakland A's have been playing lately, having to get 7, 8, 9 runs a game to prevail, and they've done it. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jody Reed. Brunansky on deck. Reed cracks it down into left field. That'll get Boggs home. Reed goes to second. He's got a double. It's 8-6. So the tattoo continues on each side.
And both guys at the top of the order, both Boggs and Reed, who have had success against Stewart in the past. It'll be the first hit of the night for Jody Reed, but he's hit the ball hard a couple of times. Right by Jacoby as he goes into the dive. You know, sometimes you wonder why the third baseman plays so shallow on Reed. Very seldom will he bunt to third base.
So now the Red Sox have 6 runs on their 8 hits. They have a runner at second base with 1 out in the 6th inning. Gallego in to talk to Stewart as Nelson warms quickly in right field. Tom Brunansky getting his first at bat of the night. Came on to play right field in the top of this inning. Now they will have La Russa moving toward the mound. He may have seen enough of Stewart. And they want Gene Nelson right now. So Dave Stewart cannot live with the good times easily and gives up back-to-back doubles to Boggs and Reed and make it a 2-run game after he'd had a comfortable, seemingly comfortable 3-run lead. But as I said earlier, you don't figure that that score, which at that time was 4-4, whatever it was going to stay that way, 5-4. On this kind of night, both teams are unlimbering the lumber, and Stewart will go and turn things over to Gene Nelson.
Well, be sure and tune in Red Sox Digest tomorrow night for the Boston Herald Nesson Red Sox trivia game grand prize drawing. Bob Chris will choose the winner of the week on the road with the Red Sox, live beginning at 7 o'clock.
Second place, number 19.
No quarter given by anybody in this game so far as the offense is concerned. Stewart going into his 7th inning, gets 6 1/3 innings done, and has given up 8 hits and 6 runs. He is responsible for a runner. He can win this game. He cannot lose it. He walked 6 while he was in there. He struck out 3 and had a wild pitch.
Gene Nelson on, and he's had some problems lately for the Oakland A's. In his last 7 1/3 innings, he's allowed 5 home runs in that time, 8 earned runs in his last 7 2/3 innings. Not pitched against the Red Sox so far this season, but overall this is his 23rd appearance of the season, a record of 1-3 with a 9.75 ERA, 36 hits in 24 innings. He struck out 13 and he's walked 14. Opponents hitting .353 off Nelson. He's allowed 6 home runs altogether. And some time on the save list early in the season.
As did everybody else in this club, it seemed.
Just about the whole bullpen.
Honeycutt, left-hander Rick Honeycutt was on the disabled list. So the Red Sox fight back with a run and a threat for more in the bottom of the 6th inning. There are your totals in this slam-bang game, and actually it really isn't surprising to anybody. The teams the way they are, the Red Sox emerging for at least an inning yesterday with their 10-run inning. Dave Stewart, not the Dave Stewart of 1990, and Dana Kiecker going for the Red Sox, so you expected probably some runs to be scored tonight.
Well, it's nice to see the Red Sox bounce back with some runs, especially after that performance yesterday. I mean, we've seen a couple of occasions this year where they've had a big score and then they go right back into that funk where for a couple of days they just can't get any runs.
Tom Brunansky is up, hitting .211, 12 home runs, 48 batted in. It's a ball. Nelson last year used as a middle and setup man. Won 3, lost 3. A good earned run average of 1.57 last year with 5 saves. Reed at second. 2 balls and no strikes.
Brunansky's been a little hot lately, hitting in 5 straight games.
Two and 1. Apparently that game is over in Toronto, and the Blue Jays have beaten Cleveland 3-1. Two and 2 to Brunansky.
That was a quick one in Toronto. They must have been getting the ball and getting right back on the rubber in that one. Already the 8th inning in Detroit. They're leading 2-1 over the Angels.
White Sox are trailing Texas now 5-4. Lifted out of play to the right side.
Dave Duncan last time the A's were in town saying spring training really for guys like Nelson and Honeycutt, guys who had to spend some time on a DL. Young.
They've all just kind of been waiting for people to come back. Hope that they could hold their heads above water. There's a ball to Brunansky, and that drives the count full. 3-2. Whipped past the on-deck hitter, Jack Clark. Three and 2. High pop-up, shortstop way. Bordick with the catch. And now there are 2 away.
Really stayed away from Brunansky and just about the whole at bat, and then on the 3-2 count and back inside with the fastball, and Brunansky popped it up to the shortstop.
Jack Clark is the batter. Struck out, hit a grand slam, and a single. Ball 1. I believe that Robin Ventura has hit another home run tonight for the White Sox.
White Sox have been on a home run tear, the whole club.
Thomas and Ventura leading them. They trail Texas 5-4 in the 5th at Chicago. Clark trying for another one. Powell's it foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, the White Sox have won 6 straight coming into tonight's action, and right behind them the Oakland A's 5 straight, all chasing the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, they're figuring that it's good for Oakland to have everybody playing well over there in that division. That'll keep everybody kind of in the fight, but nobody is going to outdistance anybody, and they would like to stay in the thick of things into August and September and not get too far back. 1 ball and 1 strike to Clark. Wants some time as Nelson takes some time. Jody Reed, the runner at second. 1 run in the 6th inning. Red Sox trailing 8-6. One ball and 2 strikes.
It's funny how we talk to different players from different teams as they come in, and especially teams in the American League West, and they say, oh, Oakland's definitely beatable this year. They're beatable. They can be had. But I tell you, the troubles that this club have been through all season long still, I mean, they're right there.
Yeah, they've been through probably more than anybody else.
And their history is to play the best baseball of the year, usually the last couple of months. So we'll see.
1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. And tried to get the call that time, and it's a ball. 2-2.
Wow.
Nelson thought he should have had it. Certainly his catcher Steinbach was jumping around as if he had the inning over with. That looks like a pretty good pitch.
Well, unless Steinbach set up off the plate, he didn't have to move the glove at all.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Three and 2.
Good by Clark laying off that pitch. You know, you see the fastball outside like that, and you say, well, maybe it was a strike. So he comes back with a slider in the same spot. The clock didn't bite for it.
Second straight 3-2 count for Nelson since coming in. And he walks him. The inning continues. Runners at first and second. First walk given up by Nelson, and 7 given up by Oakland pitching. Now it's Greenwell.
9. Greenwell.
Greenwell has grounded out twice and hit the wall for a double.
Let's see if this time, Ned, he stays with that same stroke, the opposite field stroke like the last time up. First 2 times he tried to pull the ball and just kind of weakly grounded out.
Reed at second, Clark at first. Hangs it outside, does Nelson, and it's ball 1. One and 1 to Mike. Lifted toward third. Jacoby. Changed up, fooled him, and that's it. They leave 2 runners, but they score a run, and after 6 innings, Oakland 8 and the Red Sox 6. Top of the 8th inning, Oakland leading 8-6, and Tony Pena is behind the plate for the Red Sox now. They batted for Marzano, and Pena's back in there behind the plate. Darrell Irvin still on the mound.
4.
Oakland coming up with their leadoff hitter in the lineup, Ricky Henderson up. He is 1 for 3, led the game with a homer in the first inning. Ball 1. Irvin has not done a bad job since coming on. He's worked an inning and 2/3, given up 1 hit and 1 walk. He's worked an inning. Let's see, he's worked 2 innings, given up 1 run and a couple of hits. 2 runs scored that were not charged to him. They're charged to Kiecker. 2 balls and no strikes. And a 2-1 count to Ricky.
Henderson has 34 stolen bases this year, and that's 1 ahead of Tim Raines in that department. He's been thrown out 14 times. Last year, all season long, only 10 times was he thrown out and had 65 stolen bases.
2-1 pitch to him. High to left field and room for Greenwell. 1 out. Irvin will face Dave Henderson, who has had one of the big hits in this game, a 2-run double in the 6th inning. He is 2 for 3, a single and a double. He's walked once. He has scored a run. Ball 1. Uh-oh, that's going to go foul, though. Way back, but foul and out of the ballpark. 1 ball, 1 strike. David almost had one.
Not too much doubt about the distance on that one. Just a question of whether it's going to fair or foul. And I think Henderson knew after about 2 steps that it was going to go foul. Stop right there.
2-1. Three and 1. Henderson, one of the guys, along with Kirby Puckett and some others, who played with verve in this game. You can tell they enjoy it. And there's a strike. 3 and 2.
Yeah, heck of a contest between Pena and Henderson to see who smiles the most in the course of a game.
Pena's another one that plays with verve. Always in it. Struck him out. Good pitch by Irvin. And he picks up his 2nd strikeout.
I think that might have been the forkball that time from Darrell Irvin. He got Baines on a fastball back in the 6th inning, and this looks like the split-fingered pitch working down and in on Dave Henderson.
Jose Canseco. Ball 1. He is 1 for 4, but he has 3 runs batted in. Knocked in 2 with a double and got another one in with a ground ball to short. Ahead on the count, 2-0.
Depending on what Cecil Fielder did tonight, Canseco could take the lead over in the RBI department. He had 81 coming into the game, 3 on the night, so should be 1 ahead of Cecil.
3-0.
I think he
the
may,
green light on this one.
Yeah, he may come unglued on a fastball.
Breeze blowing out. He drills it to left field on 3-0. Off the wall and a slide by Greenwell. The throw to second base. Double for Canseco. He had the green light all right and sizzles a double into left field. His 2nd double of the night.
Just didn't get any lift on it, that's all. Hit a line shot, and the 2nd time tonight it looks like a ball bounces over that cement pot on the wall just below the padding, and it's going to shoot right by Greenwell. Canseco will see that, and he'll take off for second base. He almost hurt himself sliding into second as he hit the dirt and just about stopped.
Almost a jam job there. Got that rear foot though. So they do not get the 1-2-3 inning that they would like to have because of the double by Canseco. And Tony Fawcett will come into this game to work to Harold Baines. 2nd double for Canseco and the 6th double for Oakland. Each team has 6 2-base hits. So Darrell Irvin pitches 2 2/3 innings in relief and gives up 3 hits, all of them doubles. He has allowed 1 run. He's responsible for a runner. He struck out a couple, hit a batter, did not walk anybody, or he walked 1. So he relieved, and Fawcett will come on.
Well, NESN takes you into the month of August with Game 2 of this series between the Red Sox and A's tomorrow night at 7:30. Don't miss the action as Boston's Mike Gardner gets the start against Oakland's Eric Schau. Bob Kurtz warms you up with Red Sox Digest at 7. Then at 7:30, Red Sox take on the A's right here on NESN. Well, the last time out for Tony Fossis was on the 28th against Chicago. Third of an inning in that game. 1 hit, no runs. He walked one, didn't strike out anybody. This will be, let's see, his second appearance against the A's so far this season. And he's in here to face Harold Baines in this situation. Fossis making his 39th appearance. Record of 1-1 with a 3.71 ERA. 26 hits in 34 innings. He struck out 15. He's walked 19. Allowed 3 home runs, and opponents are hitting .210 off Fossis. And left-handers, well, they're hitting, let's see, we're going to take a look at this. 157 against left-handers. 8 for 51 so far this season.
And that's the reason he stayed with this ball club, to get left-handers out, and he's done a good job of it.
Well, because of what's happened with the bullpen recently, and some injuries, and Jeff Gray's situation, of course, in the bullpen being very busy. Fossis has been called on lately to do just more than just pitch to the left-handers. He's had to give him some innings out of that bullpen.
Totals on the game in New York are rather astounding. Here's for the Minnesota Twins: 12 runs and 20 hits off New York pitching, 1 error. The Yankees 3 runs, 8 hits and 1 error. Chili Davis, Shane Mack, Ken Herbeck have hit home runs. Herbeck hit the grand slam, and Mack hit another one. 2 of them by Mack. They are going to put Baines on with runner at second base. Baines can hit left-handers, and they will take their chance with Jamie Quirk. Intentional walk will be given to Harold Baines, putting runners at first and second with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Still a 2-run ball game. Red Sox do not want any more runs to score at this point. Tigers beat California 3-1. Mark Leiter the winner over Mike Fetter. And Cecil Fielder did have a home run, his 28th. He got 2 home runs, as a matter of fact, his 28th and 29th. So he passes Canseco in homers.
Yep, jumps 1 ahead of Canseco. Canseco with a 28. Also stay ahead of him in the RBI department.
Yeah, he got 2 RBIs with those, both were the bases empty. Rob Deere hit a home run, and he's got 21. Tigers have something. Jamie Quirk is up. 2 on, 2 out. 8th inning. Oakland leading 8-6. Quirk hitting .248. 1 homer. Out ahead of that one. Strike 1.
Yeah, 3 home runs the Tigers tonight, you say, Ned?
Fielder had 2 and Rob Deere had 1 in the 3-1 game.
134 home runs in 99, well, now 100 games.
Yep. Lance Parrish, a former Tiger, hit 1 for California. 0-1 to Quirk. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Also a little cross-up that time, too, between Fossis and Pena. Pena looking for the slider that time from Fossis, and he got the fastball. And he can even smile about that. That's something catchers don't generally smile about. It's all right the other way around. It's all right the other way around. If you're thinking you get mixed up the other way and then you get the breaking ball, at least you can handle that. But it's awful tough to handle that fastball when you're expecting a breaking ball. I got to put the signs down in Spanish, both Pena and Fossis.
Jamie Quirk, the hitter. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rivera moves behind Canseco at second. Jose gets the word from somebody and ducks back. Quirk serves one into center for a base hit. That will score a pad run that gets by Ellis Burks and dies out there in center field. And another run will score as Baines comes on. Throw to third, not in time. 2 runs come in on a single and an error by Ellis Burks, who falls down. And now that breaks it open a little bit with a 10-6 Oakland lead. Big hit by Jamie Quirk.
Well, how about that for a game breaker right there? You got a guy in the lineup replacing a right-handed hitting catcher. He has to face Foster. It's a tough pitch. It's down and away, but he gets the bat on the ball. One run is definitely going to score now. Here comes the play by Brooks. Right underneath the glove as he's not bent down to try to knock it down or at least keep it in front of him. Plays it off to the side, and a few more runs will come on in. Big play.
And over to third on the error goes Quirk. So now it's 10-6. And the ball is lofted into shallow right field, and Jody Reed goes back. He makes the catch on Jacoby, but damage done in the 8th inning. As a couple of runs score, and after 7.5, it's 10-6 Oakland.
This copyrighted program is brought to you under paid cable TV rights granted by the Boston Red Sox solely for entertainment of our viewing audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the accounts and descriptions of this game without the written consent of the New England Sports Network and the Boston Red Sox is prohibited.
So it is the bottom of the 8th inning, and things have changed for the Red Sox for the worst. Gene Nelson will work against the top of the order, but right now it's a 4-run game. Oakland leading 10-6.
Now batting, Red Sox third baseman.
Darrell Irvin went 2 2/3 innings, gave up 3 hits and 2 earned runs, walked 1, struck out 2, and had a hit batter. Fawcett in a third of an inning gave up a hit and 1 run scored charged to him, but it's unearned. Wade Boggs has had himself a night. 3 doubles and a walk. All the doubles to left field. Strike 1. And Boggs has moved his average to .333. One ball and 1 strike. A lot of curlicue figures on the board as the runs being scored tonight. Boggs, base hit up the middle. Well, one thing, they will hold him to a single this time. He is 4 for 4.
Well, he has really been on a tear from the top of that lineup after missing some time with the bad back. 3 hits in the game yesterday, 4 hits in the game tonight, and every one of them hit right on the button, right back up the middle that time. And very quickly, you're going to look at those top 10, and you're going to see Boggs leading the league.
He has been a machine-like since coming back from the bad back. Jody Reed is up. And he is 1 for 3. An RBI double. High drive left field by Reed. Let's see if that holds in there. It is into the screen for a 2-run homer. It's 10-8. Mercy. Jody Reed gets the 2 runs back with a homer. His 3rd of the year.
Boy, these 2 guys at the top of the lineup have been dynamite tonight for the Red Sox. Jody Reed gets that fastball out over the plate and just hooks it right off the top of the wall and bounces into the net, and the Red Sox quickly pick up those 2 runs. Boy, this is like a couple of heavyweights going at each other.
No hostages. It may be the last team up, which would bode well for the Red Sox since they're the home team. Nobody out. And Tom Brunansky up as Nelson gives up a single to Boggs and a homer to Reed. This is Fenway Park. Popped up. That's going to go out of play, I believe. Quirk back. Let's see. No, he's there, and he does get it. The ball came back to him, and there's 1 out.
When you hit one here at Fenway and it gets up a little bit higher than the addition here, that's going to blow back into the field of play, and that's what happened that time. And Campbell's starting to loosen up now, has been loosening up for the last couple of minutes for the Oakland A's.
Pitching records will take a little dip tonight. Here is Jack Clark with a grand slam and a single in 3 trips. Strike 1.
And for the second time, it looks like Honeycutt again is starting to loosen up for Oakland. So nothing easy for either ball club.
They're having a struggle getting to Eckersley. There's a shot to left center. That's going to be another one for Clark. It is 10-9. One-run ball game as Jack Clark hits his second home run of the night deep to the left center field net. His 16th of the year.
16 home runs now for Clark, and 12 of them have been off right-handed pitching. A slider that time from Nelson, and no question about this one. Little doubt about the one in the Reed hit off the top, but no doubt about that one from Clark. And Tony La Russa now out of the dugout for the Oakland A's.
I would think so.
My goodness.
10-9. 12 hits apiece. And they don't mess with singles in this game. It has been Fenway again, and a battered Gene Nelson, who had pitched very well in an inning and 2/3 before this, giving up one hit, has suddenly given up a single, a homer, and then another homer. And he will leave the game with a one-run lead. Nobody on base, but only one out in the 8th inning, and the Red Sox fighting back in this barn burner at Fenway.
I'll tell you, some of the home runs that Clark has hit this year, well, just about all of the home runs have been just absolutely crushed, and this one no exception. I believe this ball made it over the net.
He knew it was gone. Just about everybody did. There it goes, high, wide. Gone.
Gonna have to come up with some new calls now to these two teams in the next couple of days.
I don't know. They're all getting very samey.
Well, Rick Honeycutt will be the new pitcher for the Oakland A's. This will be his 17th appearance of the season, a record of 2-2 with a 3.71 ERA. He's allowed 15 hits in 17 innings. He struck out 10. He's walked 9. Opponents hitting .238, and we mentioned a little bit earlier, he is one of those pitchers, valuable member of the bullpen that was on the save list earlier in the season, and same as Gene Nelson, had to work themselves back in shape, really, in the heat of competition.
Gene Nelson went 2 innings in relief and gave up 4 hits and 3 runs, 2 homers. He walked 1, and he had no strikeouts. So it's 10-9, Oakland leading, and we still have an inning and 2/3 to go. Maybe.
It's hard to believe, too, that in this kind of a ball game that you're going to end up, you got Reardon already warming up for the Red Sox just in case they take the lead here at the bottom of the 8th inning, and Eckersley for certain will be up for the Oakland A's eventually if the situation stays the same. Of course, Eckersley's been very busy lately, too.
Red Sox have combed Oakland pitching for 9 extra base hits tonight. That's a season high. 3 doubles by Boggs, doubles by Greenwell, Reed, and Burks. Home runs, 2 of them by Clark and 1 by Reed. The Oakland Athletics have been no slouches along that. They have just 1 homer, that by Ricky Henderson. But they have 6 doubles. And it has been a party at Fenway Park tonight for the hitters. 12 hits for each team. Nine extra base hits for Boston and 7 extra base hits for Oakland. Mike Greenwell is up. 1 for 4, had a double in the 5th inning. Lifted towards center field, but here comes Dave Henderson, and Hendu puts it away for the 2nd out. 2 away. And the cue comes up, and his bat has been silent. Among all this carnage, he is 0 for 4. There is Reardon.
That's Scott Heeman again. I'm sorry, not Scott Heeman. That's Kevin Campbell. Who had been throwing a couple of times for the Oakland A's.
Quintana 0 for 4. And Honeycutt ready. Strike one. One ball and one strike. At Detroit tonight, the California manager, Doug Rader, and his catcher, Lance Parrish, were ejected by home plate umpire Rick Reed for arguing balls and strikes in the seventh. Strike two. Crowd tonight, 34,218, and they have been treated to a pleasant evening at the ballpark if you like offense. If you're a pitching buff, forget it. Two and two. Atlanta Braves' Otis Nixon has extended his hitting streak to 20 games. Had a bunt single in the third inning of tonight's game.
That's a couple of times now he's extended that streak with bunt base hits.
He's fast enough to beat any bunt out. 2-2 to Carlos Quintana. Strike three, curveball by Honeycutt, and a beauty. Quintana caught looking. The Red Sox get 3. And after 8 innings, Oakland 10, Boston 9. Last call for the Red Sox. And it is a 10-9 affair with Oakland leading. And Boston, against Rick Honeycutt, the left-hander, will have Ellis Burks, Luis Rivera, and Tony Pena. Well, this has been something. Been Ali against Foreman. Lewis against Wolcott. I mean, everybody up there have been swinging from the heels, and extra base hits pounding all over this place. The pitching has been valiant, if ineffective. I mean, just to go out there and be on the mound has been valiant. That shows a little amount of bravery there.
And we do it all again tomorrow night, too.
That's right. Yeah, Mike Gardner will go for the Red Sox tomorrow. Joe Slesarski, a rookie, will go for Oakland. So here is Ellis Burks. He is 1 for 2. He doubled in the 7th. Minnesota has beaten New York 12-3. Tigers have won. Toronto has won. Ball one. Texas leading the White Sox now 8-5 down out in Chicago after 8 innings. One ball and one strike to Burks. Base hit right center field, maybe for more than one. It rolls to the wall. It's bouncing around the 420 mark. Ellis Burks going to third base. He is being waved around and held at third base. He's got a triple.
And a hot start of the for a minute, Ned, because I saw Berardino waving him on at third base. Once he saw Henderson have trouble picking up the ball out in the triangle, he was waving Burks home. Right at the last minute, though, when that cutoff man was hit in the infield, put the sign up to put on the brakes, and Burks with the big lead-off triple. Just a rocket again by Burks all the way up to the triangle. And you'll see Henderson out there. He has a little bit of trouble picking it up. There was no question it was going to be 3 bases. When he bobbles it, you've got to wonder, is there a chance that Brooks is going to come all the way around the score?
You got to hold him there. He represents the tying run now. Berardino with the wave and then the stop sign. 3 bases for Burks. Tying run at third. And the batter is Luis Rivera with the infield in for Oakland. He is tied up by that pitch by Honeycutt. Strike 1. One for 4 for Rivera. Red Sox have tied a record, I believe, with their 10 extra base hits tonight. That's the first triple of the evening. Rivera taking strike 2. And now Honeycutt's ahead of Louis 0-2, and Rivera doesn't like that call by Welke.
And in all the games the Red Sox have played against the A's the last few years, normally in this situation you would expect Eckersley to be on the mound, but because he's been worked hard,
he's not even warming up.
Not even warming up, just sitting in the bullpen.
Infield tight end. 2 strikes to Rivera. Nobody out. Tying run at third. 9th inning. Struck him out. Rivera down on strikes. A wicked pitch by Honeycutt. 1 down.
Talk about getting a strikeout when you need it. He just busted and stayed inside on Rivera with the slider. Down and in, all 3 pitches. Rivera a little bit over anxious on the first pitch. When you have 2 strikes, you really have to chase that one.
Kiecker.
Honeycutt not nearly out of the woods yet. He faces Tony Pena. The infield still in. There's 1 out. Pena came on to catch in the 8th inning, getting his first at bat. Ball 1.
Just have to tell yourself as a hitter, look, the pressure right now is obviously on that guy in the center of the field, the pitcher. Hit the man, a tying run on third base. The infield is pulled in. You try to make yourself as patient as possible to get the pitch.
It's your pitch. You try to do something with it. Get it through that drawn-in infield. What you're looking for now is the tie game. You can worry about the win later. Two balls and no strikes. Nice block by Quirk.
The thing you got to tell yourself too is make sure Honeycutt gets something up about Beltai, because he's a ground ball type pitcher, a sinker ball pitcher with the slider, likes to keep everything down. Nice play by Quirk to leave his ball club in the lead at this point.
Two balls, no strikes. Hang on. Ball 3. Guess who the on-deck hitter is? Wade Boggs. Burks at third. Count 3-0 to Pena with one out. Ball four. Runners at first and third, and Wade Boggs coming up. Has had 3 doubles and a single along with a walk. So now you project the winning run at first base.
Tony La Russa now stationing his infield where he wants it, and it looks like that the number 2 depth, and from there they have the option. If it's a double play type of ground ball, go for 2. If not, you have to come to the plate.
The short double play depth. Boggs has not had anything that looks like a double play ball tonight. He's had 3 doubles to the wall and left. He's had a single up the middle. Strike one. He walked in the 4th inning. He has scored 3 runs.
And a fly ball, you have good speed at third base and Ellis Burks.
1 ball, 1 strike to Boggs. Oakland leading 10-9. We're in the bottom of the 9th. Burks at third, Pena at first with 1 away. Boggs at the plate with a 1-1 count. Moving Pena back to first. Rick Honeycutt in the middle of things right now. Base hit to left field. It's all tied up. Pena goes to second. The winning run's at second base. Boggs 5 for 5.
Burks a very happy man in that Red Sox dugout right now because the ball that got by him in center field really gave the 10th run of the game to the Oakland A's. He leads this off with a triple and comes in to score on the base hit, the 5th base hit tonight by Wade Boggs.
A 5 for 5 night for Boggs. Just serves it nicely into the outfield.
Not exactly like he hit a cookie either. Ned right on the outside part of the plate, just slapped it for the base hit.
So now Jody Reed is up, but he's had a double and a home run tonight. His homer got them within 1 run in the 8th inning. Takes ball 1. Tony Pena represents the winning run at second. Incredibly, the Red Sox come back from a 10-6 deficit in the 8th inning. His 3rd career 5-hit game for Boggs.
Old Oakland outfield moved in a couple of steps now. Any kind of base hit to try to throw that winning run out at the plate.
Infield double play depth. Ball 2. Brunansky on deck. And really no semblance of pitching tonight. Three balls and no strikes. Reed looks at strike 1, and the count is 3-1. 10 extra base hits for the Red Sox. Pena represents a winning run in the 9th. 7 extra base hits for the A's. Reed bangs at the third. 1 out there is all they can get. Jacoby bobbles it. Hot shot hard enough for a double play ball, but with the bobble by Brooke Jacoby, he steps on the bag to take out the lead runner. And now there are 2 away.
Had he made the play clean, he probably would have been able to go and tag third base and go across the diamond for the double play. He was that close to third. But because thinking that, I think that's why he bobbled it and then wisely goes over and just steps on third base to get the out.
So now there are 2 down and the winning run at second base. And Tom Brunansky is up. He's been up twice in the game, popped to short, and fouled to the catcher. This is his first appearance against Honeycutt. Strike 1.
Well, I don't know if that pitch is low or it's the way Jamie Quirk caught that pitch, but caught it with the palm down and almost trapped it against the dirt.
1 strike to Brunansky. Game tied 10-10 in the bottom of the 9th. Down to third, Jacoby to first base, and will go to extra innings incredibly. Bruno grounds to third, and we go to the 10th inning, tied up 10-10. 12th inning. 10 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error for Oakland. 10 runs, 14 hits, and 1 error for Boston. Greg Harris on to work his second inning in relief. He will face Willie Wilson, who will bat for Mike Bordick. And then the Henderson boys, Ricky and David. It's hard to recap this game, so we won't. Just know that extra base hits have been the premium. Ricky Henderson had a home run to open the game, and that sort of set the tone for the whole evening. Jack Clark has had 2 homers for Boston. Jody Reed's had 1. One of Clark's is a grand slam. Boggs is 5 for 6. Been heroics all over each lineup offensively. Willie Wilson batting for Mike Bordick. Wilson hitting .241. No homers, 22 runs batted in. A switcher batting left against Harris.
Wilson hitting .225 from the left side of the plate and .270 from the right side. No pitch, I don't believe, as time was called for some reason.
It's a strike to Wilson.
Last time here, Willie Wilson collected his 2,000th hit here at Fenway Park. Crowd standing up, giving him a nice ovation. .321 hitter lifetime in this ballpark.
Nothing in 1. In close to him for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Goes to left, and Boggs gets the great catch at third. Oh my goodness. Took away probably 2 bases or more from Willie Wilson with a great stab at third base. 1 out.
Have yourself a night, Boggs. 5 hits in the game, a couple of fine defensive plays, and probably saved a double in that situation. With the speed of Willie Wilson, that ball definitely headed down into the corner, and he definitely would end up on second base.
Yep, that's reaction time by Wade Boggs. So there's 1 away, and here's Ricky Henderson. 2 hits tonight, one of them a home run, not in the first inning. Strike one. Well, we got a final, and we did have a game like this one as Chicago rallied for 4 runs in the 9th inning to beat Texas 10-8. Down he goes. 14 hits for Chicago, and the big hit was Robin Ventura's home run that came in the 9th. A grand slam. He had 2 homers tonight, his 15th and 16th. Frank Thomas had a home run also, so the White Sox continuing to hammer, and they beat Texas. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That'll drop Texas 6.5 back of Minnesota. Chicago will remain 3, and Oakland is trying to stay 4 games behind.
Ventura is hotter. Whew. Grand slam in the 9th. Strike 3. Henderson is out. The second strikeout for Harris.
Too many curveballs thrown by Greg Harris since he's been in this game, but he certainly saved a good one for Ricky Henderson. Most of the pitches he's made have been the fastball. Now he drops with the curveball. Perfect pitch away from Ricky.
So now there are 2 down, and nobody's gotten on base for this Oakland club since a single by Ricky Henderson in the 9th inning. We are now in the 11th with 2 outs, and David Henderson is up. Strike 1. Very high in the infield, and Rivera back. Harris 1, 2, 3 again. 10 in a row have been retired by relief pitchers Reardon and Harris. And we go to the bottom of the 12th, still at 10-10. Okay, we're going to the bottom of the 14th, and changes for the Oakland Athletics. Ernest Riles, who pinch hit and struck out, is at shortstop now. Gallego moves back to second base. Riles is at shortstop, and the new pitcher is Steve Chytrin.
He'll be making his 40th appearance of the season. That's the second most on the staff to Dennis Eckersley. Record of 1-2, 3.38 ERA. All of those appearances have been in relief. 42 hits and 45 in a 3rd inning. He struck out 40. He's walked 24, allowed 5 home runs. And opponents hitting .247 off Chytrin. Has 1 appearance against the Red Sox this year. 3 hits and 1 run in a 1-inning pitch. He picked up the loss in that game. Hump's getting a little juice to replenish the fluids there.
Excellent job by Kevin Campbell in 4 innings of scoreless relief. He was in trouble created by walks and hit batsmen here and there, but no runs and no hits. Walked 3, struck out 3, and hit a batter. So Harris and Campbell outstanding in relief. Steve Chytrin will work to Jody Reed.
Probably if it goes another inning, Ned, that's going to be it for Harris. It looks like Lamp now is starting to loosen up. As we mentioned, he worked a couple of innings in the game yesterday, and
yep,
this is an emergency.
Dennis Lamp. We're just 3-4 minutes shy of a 5-hour ball game, and Jody Reed takes the ball inside. We're underway in the bottom of the 14th, 10-10. Night Owlers. Ball 2. Oakland pitching consists on walking people or hitting people. But the Red Sox have not scored. They've had people on base, particularly in the last inning. There's a foul by Reed. 2 walks in the 12th. They had a walk in the 10th. They had a hit batsman, an error, giving him a runner in the 13th, but still could not push the run across. Jody Reed has had a double and a home run. Knocked in 3. Foul ball waved by the third base umpire Dan Morrison. Woo, that wasn't foul by much, as Jacoby, playing right at the line, made a lunge for it. It was just foul.
Bernardino certainly thought it was fair, but I don't know if there's any possible way you can get one fair down that line. Very, very close to the corner of that bag. As you noticed, Jacoby was right near the line, went into the dive, and it got by him. Very close play.
So it's a 2-2 count to Reed. Two balls, two strikes. Chitrin working to Reed with Brunansky on deck. Fly to left field. Ricky Henderson. One out.
Good curveball from Chitrin. About 3/4 he throws it from, with a pretty good break on it. A little similar to the Greg Harris curveball. Probably doesn't drop as much, but it certainly has a nice sideward break to it.
Now it's Tom Brunansky. Been in here since the 6th inning. Went into right field to play in the 6th. And has gone 0 for 3 with a walk. There's a breaking pitch for a strike. All the thunder that started the first 8-9 innings is gone. And you're looking for anything, including a hit batsman. There's strike 2, another curveball by Chitrin. Breeze has died to practically nothing now. An 0-2 count. Brunansky up with Clark on deck. Showing that outside. Ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Liner to left field, and Ricky has it for the out. Ball hit well by Brunansky, but Henderson over toward the line a little bit, playing just about right, and makes the catch for the 2nd out.
Yeah, he was playing in the pull, and as soon as there was contact made by Brunansky, he was off very quickly with that first step and pretty much made a routine play out of it.
So now here's Jack Clark again. Struck out in the 1st, had a grand slam in the 3rd. Singled in the 5th, walked in the 6th, homered with nobody on in the 8th, struck out in the 10th, and popped up in the 12th. Ball 1, 2 outs, 14th inning, 10-10. We have played 5 hours. The curve for a strike. Strike to another breaking pitch. Chitrin's got a good one. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody aboard.
Red Sox 1-4 in extra inning games this year. Oakland is 5-1 extra inning games.
Slams that one away from him. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Every time he's thrown a fastball, both Brunansky and Clark has just been to absolutely waste it way outside. And he comes right back with the curveball.
2-2 to Clark with 2 outs. Fouls it off.
Didn't waste that one.
That time.
Well, it was going for the punch out with that one.
Yeah. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's almost over in Seattle, by the way. Mariners are leading Baltimore 2-1 in the 8th inning. It's the only other game going in the American League. Clark hits one high, deep into the night, and that is out of here for the game-winning home run. Jack Clark hits his third home run of the night and wins it 11-10. In a 5-hour and 1-minute ball game, that is what they got Jack Clark for, and he showed him tonight with 3 home runs and 6 runs batted in. In the 14th inning, 2 outs and a 2-2 count. He hit it over everything. 1 hit, 1 run.
Well, the mobile extra mile play of the game, obviously the home run by Jack Clark in the bottom of the 14th inning. A curveball from Steve Chitrin that Clark jumped all over. As you mentioned, Ned, for the 3rd home run of the night and the 6th RBI. Mobile goes the extra mile for you.
There it goes. That is a pretty sight for Red Sox fans as Clark whacked 3 of them in this 14-inning game. So, the heroics, Clark, Boggs, you name them. The Red Sox win it. Final score 11-10.